Good morning, everyone. Today is April the 21st, 2021. This is StockCast, your pre-market show. My name is James Mason. With me is Todd Derby. Todd, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing well. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. So for Pre-market so far, Dow futures are currently down 31 points. S&P 500 down 6.75 points. We are looking like we're going to start the day off a little choppy, but we'll just have to take it as it comes. So, I don't know. Other than that, Todd, what does $12 billion mean to you?
Whoa. I don't think people. There's no way I could spend $12 billion. It's a lot of money. And I know why you're asking the question. And so it begs the question, like, if someone's offering you $12 billion for your company, how do you say no to that because you think it's worth $14 billion? I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it. There had to be something other philosophically that didn't align with what they're trying to accomplish with Microsoft.
Well, philosophically, I can get over it for $12 billion.
Yeah, yep.
So what we're talking about, everyone, is Microsoft and Discord have ended talks. And what was printed out on the street was that they turned them down over the $12 billion offer. Man, that's crazy. I know one thing, Todd. Anybody offered us $12 billion, I'd shut it all down. It'd be done.
Well, and to be fair, we probably would be willing to talk for a number less than 12 billion.
Oh, absolutely. We'll talk for $1 billion. We'll talk less than $1 billion.
Yeah, if someone offers something less than $1 billion, I think you would. I'm sure that the partner meeting like this, boys, I have some good news and I have some bad news. Johnny, you no longer have a job. But the good news is, here's your severance check.
Yep. Man, I wouldn't even show up for the next StockCast. Everybody just be waiting. I would schedule it so everybody be waiting for it, and then I just go lay back in bed.
Teresa Burnley shares we could have all three of her kids and her husband.
Exactly. Oh, all right. Good morning, everyone. Let's see what we have going on in the comments. All right. Can we talk about how SSR works? All right. So SSR stands for the short sale restriction. And basically what it means is if the security drops more than 10% the previous day, then that following day, you just won't be able to go in there and just, short it when it's just dropping. You have to short it when on the uptick, when it's going up. So that's essentially what it means. People try to say that when something gets put on SSR, that, oh no, you can't short it that day. You absolutely can. It's just, you just have to short it a different way. But
you have to short on the ask versus the bid.
Yeah. So basically, like if it's pushing up, more than likely, if people are hitting it on the ask. So that's what it means. So yeah, that's SSR. Let's see what else we have. For news this morning, once again, much of nothing. Let's see, ticker ATHE. It popped off. Let me show my charts, but it popped off pretty quickly, and then that was about it. I mean, didn't do much else. So shut up here, kind of consolidating. We'll just have to see what it does. Personally, I am not feeling this one. I didn't really think that their news was that great, but they just actually released another article, so stand by a moment. All right. So their one product, there's no sense of me naming out all numbers, but it says it protects brain cells and improves motor function in Parkinson's disease or disorder. But that seems like a pretty nice article. Nonetheless, you can look at this chart and see that it hasn't responded to it. So the market don't care. That's what that means. So that's not worth chasing. There is, hold on, OCGN just popped up. That looks like fluff news as well. All right, so OCGN is currently up at $6.23 pre-market today, so a little over 12%. Really, for me to even consider this one in the future, I need to see it get above this range right around $8.85. And I drew that trend line for y'all. You can see basically what happens once it breaks that plane right there. For me, that will be confirmation for going long in it. And if I did take this one in the future, it's probably just going to be maybe for 2-3 points if I could even get that. But with how these gap ups kind of work, we can see right here it gapped up, sold off, went sideways a little bit, then sold off some more. And now it's probably going to consolidate here just above the 200 EMA line, which this is good in a moment. Because if this does hold up, we could bounce, break above 885, maybe gain a little bit more, and then whatever it decides to do after that. Now, if it makes that move, this next move, after that next move, and when it comes back down, that's probably when it's going to start breaking through that 200 EMA in the future and then selling off a lot more, coming back down here to this $2-3 range. So that is what I see for ticker OCGN, only because it popped up with some news that just seemed like fluff just now.
OCGN has been a pump and dump in the last recently also. So anytime you see a parabolic move like that in that 5-minute candle, that green candle, when it goes that fast, that quick, it's just screaming to be shorted down.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So depending on, if it if it does another move like that, I will be lining up short locates and getting ready for the party.
Absolutely. And kind of like how we talked about yesterday with ticker HOTH. So looking at the pre-market today, once again, we have another day, very low volume, not much for anything news-wise. And when you have these nice percentage movers, there's nothing else for the bears to focus on. And this is what happens. This is what I was warning everybody about yesterday. Now, with the news that this company posted yesterday, I did say that I'm going to wait until after this happened to start considering getting in, and I will. But I'm still going to hold off a little bit more. I want to see what it does. I want to see if it actually sells off a little bit more before even considering making an entry here. But talking about OCGN again, to be honest, I expect it to do pretty much the same thing. All right, so hold on a second. Seen some news pop up.
Looking at BBIG.
Yep. Ugh. So this is BBIG. It's just now popping off. I'm seeing some stuff coming in about some NFT news. I'm not going to chase this because it's looking like crap. It shot up quickly to 275, and then literally when I just pulled up on the chart, it was already around 230 again. When things shoot up that quickly and don't hold, that's a huge red flag. And what probably will happen here is this will go up a little bit more, probably play around in this range. It might come up here and test that 275 again. There's no telling right now. But the bears are going to be there to short this thing down. It probably won't break above 275. If it does, it won't be much. This thing is going to be in the zone to be shorted down. We already can see that there are people here to short it down and to sell off, and they're going to hammer it. So this is another one that I would watch out for with trying to chase it off of that hype, and just be prepared to take any profits if you already have them. I was kind of hoping we was going to have a runner live, Todd.
Yeah, well, BBIG might be something.
I don't know. I don't see it with that 5-minute candle selling off that quickly. I just don't see it. Not yet, at least.
Right.
Maybe at the bell. Because, I mean, what we're looking at right now, we both know it's two different worlds right now compared to at the opening.
Yeah, this is probably more of a short candidate than a long candidate.
Yeah.
It's got no volume. It's only got 125,000 shares, so
that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it shot up and quickly sold off as soon as it did.
Yeah, we need some more volume we need more volume to decide what it's going to do.
All right, let's look at Intel, ticker INTC. So it's looking like they're having earnings today, I'm guessing, or tomorrow. Per Trading View, earnings tomorrow. Now, I will be honest, Trading View's accuracy with their earnings calendar has not been that great. So, looking at this thing on the daily chart here, it already looks bearish. We see these daily candlesticks under that non-EMA, and it is curled over and it's starting to push down. We can see the red MACD, and also it just done off on that RSI. One second, I'm just looking back at this. All right. Now, with us coming into earnings right here, you never know what can happen with earnings. But with the whole chip making macro events that are taking place with the shortage and things like that, and then you have NVIDIA that's coming in and laying the hammer to the market, that's when Intel started taking that hit. And you have to think, Intel is a rival to NVIDIA. And then when NVIDIA steps their game up and starts smoking everybody, a lot of these companies are going to go down. Now, I haven't looked at, let's see, AMD lately. I want to see something real quick. All right, so AMD is looking weak as well. I just want to see if their patterns were near the same. All right, so with AMD looking weak, Intel's obviously looking weak. I really do expect this to continue selling off. Again, earnings tomorrow could change this completely. But nonetheless, if they don't gap up off of earnings, this thing is just going to really take a beating. I mean, overall, we can see that, Intel has enjoyed a great run for a while. And then it gets to this point where it's starting to get extremely volatile. And we are talking over the course of like 2 years here. But still, we can see it on this daily chart. It's getting extremely volatile. And we're testing all-time highs again. And we can see that rejection thus far. Now, again, like third time with earnings, they can always drop a surprise on us. So if you're going to try to go long in earnings or try to go long in Intel, I would wait until the earnings came out. And me personally, I'd have to wait for it to break the all-time highs before trying to make an entry. So that is what I think on Intel.
Ryan's going short in it.
What's that?
Ryan's going short in Intel.
I agree with that. I mean, that's what I would be doing. Everything's set up for a short play on it. Has been. So that's what I see. I'm bearish on Intel.
Someone asked if Doji crypto will get one more push. Is it possible it could go up? The answer is yes, it is possible. Possible being the key word.
Keyword, as well. Well, not keyword. I've said this so many times already. Man, I don't know a thing about trading crypto. It's just a market that I don't trade. So my advice on it until I start trading it would be irrelevant. I just have to be real. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know how to trade crypto when I don't.
You tried to trade crypto on the Super Bowl.
I was just gambling then, just playing around. Yeah.
You were screwing around.
Yeah, well, that all happened because Johnny's like, yeah, I threw some money in it. And I was laughing at him. I was like, that's ridiculous. And then I threw $1,000 in it. And then I lost almost 200. And I was like, man, forget this crap, Johnny. This sucks.
I remember that.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have going on in the comments? Everybody is quiet this morning, just like the pre-market.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
Man, that 7 a.m. crowd was a lot more talkative, Todd. I don't know. We might have to roll back to that. Let's see what we have going on.
There's just nothing on the scanners. There's nothing. I mean, I'm looking at the number 2 on the New York is up 12%, 13%. That's it.
Yeah. So, Landon, we were actually just looking at Netflix right before we went live. Netflix took a beating yesterday. Or after hours, whatever. So, Netflix closed out at $549 yesterday, and it is currently at $500. This setup right here is what I usually hold off on. Like, I'm not even going to try to short it or go long. And the reason why, that move is so significant for a large cap like Netflix that you try to go long in it, and you'll try to go long in it because it looks like it's going to have a somewhat of a bounce, and you're really just trying to go for like 5-10 points, because really Netflix can move 5 to 10 points like nothing. But you try to go to for a few points here, and then surprise, it drops more. Or you try to short it, and it shoots up. So what I usually like to do is wait for the bell and see what happens. If Netflix bounces and pushes up, there's a good chance it'll probably come up here, test this 200 EMA, and then get rejected. And then that's when I would wait to buy puts and write it down. Now, if Netflix comes out the gate and it drops, because it's already dropped so much, I'd kind of watch out for that. But I'd actually look for a bounce right here around the lows near 480, somewhere right in there. And then that's when I look for a bounce. When I say a bounce, like a very small bounce. So that drop is pretty significant. Longer term, I do expect Netflix to continue selling off, as we can see on the daily chart here, that huge gap down. And we will probably, I'm trying to see, the last time Netflix has done something like this. Here's a good example. All right. So looking back here around mid-July of 2019, we can see this huge gap down Netflix. This is what I'm kind of expecting going into the future. So right here, the gap down, it actually had a green day because it was so significant. But then the following day, red, and then red, and then pushed up some, came up here, was going to test that 200 EMA line, and then really sold off after that. That's what I expect. So really, what I would do, I mean, if you wanted to try to chase this so soon, wait to see what it does today. And then maybe tomorrow, start thinking about, taking a put contract, but make sure you have some time on that thing. And their contracts are expensive. Keep that in mind. But if it would start going in your favor, be ready to take profits pretty soon, because I do expect it to bounce on the daily chart a little bit like this, and then see where it tops out at, and then try to tap it again. This is a trade that I would not get heavy in, because you never know with Netflix. So that is what I see for this one.
Well, it's a slow morning, slow show today. There's not a lot more to chat about.
Yeah.
The thing I'll offer some final words before we cut out of here is that the last few days, there's been a few tickers that have made their move after the market's opened. And so if you're kind of patient and keep your eyes on it, there's been a couple that have made some moves. And that's actually where I've made my money, is waiting for them to make their move and then shorting them on the way down. NYMD was one yesterday, and BTX was another one that they're making moves during the regular market. So keep your eyes on the scanners.
Yep,
and don't overtrade.
And go POAI.
PO. I added to my position yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I am long and strong in it. But I'll be honest, man, everybody's freaking out, and then that's just causing that sell-off to happen more and more. But we need the catalyst from that company. They're about ready to start getting crazy emails from me. Had to do it to APOP. Had to call up APOP. And I will do it to predictive oncology as well.
If we have to, we'll go knock on the front door.
I'm not above that. I'm not above that.
All right, everyone. Have a great day.
All right, everyone. Trade safe and watch out for the choppiness today. And when you have profits, raise that stop loss up. So take care, trade safe, and we will see y'all in the next one.